So today we'll do a linear regression on the TI-83 Plus. The first thing we need to do is enter data. We'll use Stat and click number 1 for editing lists. And when we enter data in here, what we'll do is either type it in on the number pad by clicking with the mouse, or you can type on your keyboard and use the Enter key. I'll do a little of both. The table that I'll be using contains the weight of a cargo box and the force needed to push that cargo box of the given weight. So my weights for the cargo box are 150. I'll type in 150 and click Enter, or you can type it on your keyboard. 180, Enter for my next value, 210, Enter, and 320. Enter. Now in order to move to list 2 to enter the dependent variable values, we'll use the arrow key to the right and we'll type in the force of 26 pounds, enter, 31 pounds force, enter, and corresponding to 210 we have 36, enter, and corresponding to 320 we have 54. Enter. So now I have my data pairs. If you'd like to see a scatter plot, what we need to do is turn on a stat plot. So we'll go to Second, Stat Plot, and we'll turn on plot number 1, and we'll need to hit Enter as the cursor flashes on On. You notice the type is scatter plot. It's grabbing data from list 1 and list 2, and it'll give us a small box for each data point. And now we can push the graph button, but you notice we don't see anything because we're on a standard window. So we need to push zoom, and we need to zoom stat. We'll go down to number 9. You can click number 9, or you can click Enter when 9 is highlighted. And here we see our scatter plot. You can see that we have a basic linear pattern here. Now if we want to find the line of best fit, then we'll need to go to Stat, and we'll need to hit Calc. So we'll go to the right to the Calc menu, and that's for calculations. So we're going to make a statistical calculation, and we're going to use number 4. LinReg stands for linear regression. So we have Enter. And what we'll do now is we'll enter L1 and L2 to tell the linear regression where the given data is. L1 is right above the 1 key, and L2 right above the 2 key. So we'll use second 1 and then a comma, and second 2 in order to tell the calculator L1 and L2 contain my data. Now I'll click Enter. If you don't see the R squared and the R value, then under Catalog you can look for the command diagnostic on and execute that command on the home screen in order to get your R squared and R values. We won't be using these too much right at the moment, but later you may need them. Now in order to view the line of best fit with the scatter plot, what we'll need to do is find this regression equation in the calculator and put it in the y equals area, the y editor. So what we'll do is we'll go to vars, and we specifically need statistics, vars, that stands for variables by the way. We'll go to statistics, Enter, and EQ stands for equations. So under equations what we have is all the different parameters here that show up in the equations, and number 1 is REGEQ. That is always going to stand for the most recently calculated regression equation. So we'll click number 1, and what it does is it puts the most recently calculated regression equation right here in the Y editor. If we push graph again, the zoom settings are still set to zoom stat, and we can see the regression equation right there with the scatter plot. So that gives you the ability to view, and you can also calculate using your line of best fit, you can use that as a predictive calculator, and of course you can go second calc and calculate values, number 1. So you can type in X values and get predictions from the regression equation.